Hello everyone, this is Dan Rexroth again here, John Knox Village Frontline News, and we're here with Marybeth Roberts. She's our Director of Sales and Marketing, and we're here in a beautiful new villa. We're going to show you that in a few minutes, but first of all, Marybeth, let's talk a little bit about what's going on in sales and marketing right now because of COVID-19. My guess is that you all don't have anything to do. There's probably no work and just nothing happening. People may be sitting there with their feet on the desk eating bonbons.
Oh, bonbons, absolutely. Like I've gone through a whole box. Some people could think that, Dan, and we have heard that comment a few times, but actually just the opposite is true. We are incredibly busy. We changed our focus. So right now, instead of like the sales piece, and being so salesy when we talk to our prospects, it's really about touching and touch points. And that's really what we're talking about today. Since we can't have people come and visit us on the campus, we are doing a lot of touch points through different ways, especially telephone. The consultants are on, they're on the phone a ton, and you know what's so great? Guess what? The residents,
everybody's home.
The prospects are home, and they
right.
actually love getting phone calls right now because they're bored and they want people to talk to. So that's been really sweet, and it's given them an opportunity to talk about what the village is doing during COVID-19, how we're keeping our residents engaged, how we're keeping communication with them, all of the great things that we're trying to do so that they're not bored living here at the village. And it's just been a great opportunity to talk to folks, and we're sort of selling, but in a whole different way. It's really about communicating and letting them know what's going on. And the other key point is checking in. We're talking, how are you? How are you doing? And I think that's really important as well. So that's one of the things we're doing. We're doing a lot of personal note cards. The counselors are writing a lot of notes, and who doesn't love to get something in the mail? And Dan, I'm going to ask you to open this up. This is something that we've been mailing out. And
so if I was a prospect, you might mail this to me? And
you would get this.
All right, so I'm going to open this
So you open it up,
package and see what's inside. All right. Oh my goodness. Look at this. This would be a pretty unique gift to give. It's looks like a deck of playing cards with the John Knox Village logo on the front.
That's right. You might want to read the card. I think it's really cute.
Sure. It says, "Thinking of you today." It's a beautiful little card with the John Knox logo. Wanted to send you a card to let you know. Then decided sending you 52 cards would even be a better deal. So whether you're playing solitaire or gin rummy, please know that you're in our hearts. And if there's anything we can do to support you now or in the future, just give us a call. And your friends at John Knox Village with the phone number. So very creative, Marybeth. So you guys are making phone calls. You're doing these touch points, which are so important, sending these little things out. And then
and the beauty of this, Dan, is we already had these. We had an extra box or two of these left over from an event we did a few years ago. And we were all brainstorming about different ways. What could we do? What are things we could send people? And I went, decks of cards. And the great part too is it's got a space on the back, and the counselors are writing a personal little note. And I will tell you, consultants are getting phone calls when the people get these in the mail, thanking them. So it just is that continuing to create the dialogue, and continuing to let people know that we're here, but not doing it in such a way that we're trying to be salesy, because we know right now they can't get out. They have some fears, and they don't want to be getting out and going against the CDC guidelines. As you can see, we all have our masks, and we have our little stickers that we are doing. So there have been a few times when we have done some appointments. So one of the things that we have said is we will do appointments for people who have an immediate need. And because there are still people who need to move to the village.
Sure.
They've sold their home. They've had this plan in the works. Do you realize we actually had 20 pending move-ins when all of this kind of started?
Yeah, why don't you talk a little bit about what has been happening the last 2 months now that we've been into this. So are people still moving into the village during March, April, early May? What's happening? What's the plan?
They actually are. I was going to say, everybody thinks we're sitting around doing nothing, but our move-in coordination team, they've been so busy kind of helping people through that process and holding their hands. It's very different. They have to have a special discussion with their move-in company, because how can they come on the campus and what are the special things we're asking them to do? We actually have had 3 people move in April, and we're going to have 10 in May. We've already, that's what's projected right now. So of those 20 pending move-ins, that's going to be 13 of them that will have already moved into the village during kind of this crazy time, which we were concerned that people would kind of slow down and not want to make the move. But I think really actually the opposite has happened. So we're very pleased that we're continuing to do that. We are having to do things differently. We had just one little story last week. A couple moved in and they had a new bed delivered, but guess what? The company delivering the bed, they wouldn't come into the building. So they weren't going to take it up to the 3rd floor and put it together. So we called our maintenance team, and gosh, they jumped to it, and of course with pride got that bed delivered and to the folks and got it put together for them. So we're having to do things a little bit differently. The focus is a little different, but it's working.
Good to hear people are still moving in. People still feel like really probably now more than ever is a good time to move to John Knox Village. And so I also know you're doing some virtual tours, because some folks might not feel comfortable visiting the campus, or we might not feel comfortable. But talk about the virtual tours we've produced and shared with them.
That's been amazing. I mean, we've really had to think differently about how we get our message out. So utilizing the website, utilizing social media, using videos, that's become a huge part of what we do in our business. Steve Clark, who's amazing, you all know Steve, our great creative guru here in marketing at John Knox Village. He has actually done 16 virtual tours. He has been in every single one of our furnished model homes, created beautiful virtual tours, and actually the home we're in now, you'll probably see that a little bit later, is one of the ones he has done, so that we can continue to show people what our homes look like, even if they can't come on campus and visit. He's also done that for assisted living, which has been really great. Assisted living opened up the new wing and had that really great push, but they still have new units to sell. He's done the models over there too, so to help them. And it's just been a great way to get things out. And Dan, remember, we even asked you to do a video a couple of weeks ago, and we kind of wanted you to send a message and talk to our prospects. And so you've even been part of that process too, which has been really great.
Great. Well, you have a lot going on between counselors making phone calls and talking to lots of prospects on the phone, writing personal notes and cards and sending them things, doing the virtual tours, coordinating move-ins, all of those things. So through all of this, you also oversee the communications area. So talk to us a little bit about what we have done in the communications area to try and really continue to connect with residents in the community.
Do you have a couple of hours, Dan? The poor communications team, they really are the heroes right now. Right when things just even started, we started hearing about the issues of COVID-19 and the coronavirus. I will tell you that the people on the communications front line were in all of the meetings. We have a big task force here on the campus that's made up of, everybody from senior staff to, people on the public safety and risk management. Communications was there. They were working 24/7, literally those first few weeks. Meetings on the weekends, at night, because you know what? The information was constantly changing. One day we'd think we were going to shut down, and then we weren't, and then we were, and what was going to happen. And so there's been so much communication that's had to go out. And when you think about all the different ways we touch people here at the village, whether it's on JKTV, whether it's on our e-blast system, whether it's on the website, we have family to communicate with, we have our residents, we have our prospects, we have our associates to communicate with. Oh my gosh, they have just been working 24/7. And I think they've had a little bit of a reprieve like the last week or so. It hasn't been too crazy, but guess what? When we start now thinking about kind of reopening things, that communication is just going to go tenfold all over again. So I can't say enough about how hard they've been working. I really want to say a huge thank you. Stephanie, Emily, Cheryl, Karen, and Steve. They just phenomenal, just phenomenal.
Great. Yeah, I think we've all been the beneficiaries of the great communication that's happened around the village. And so, yeah, I want to thank, and please thank that staff for us, all the great work, the double duty, triple duty. They have really stepped up, and I think the residents would agree. There's been a lot of wonderful communication that's happened on lots of topics all over the village, just like this video today. So thank you for what you're doing, continuing to sell, continuing to move people in now more than any time. And I've heard so many residents say that they're thankful they're at the village, and their friends out in the community need to move because of what's happening at the village and the fact that we're here to support.
Dan, it's a great segue. I wanted to mention one last thing is referrals. You know, we have had just a plethora of phone calls from the current residents singing that same tune to the consultants saying, gosh, my friends really need to move here. They're lonely in their home. And so we've had a big surge in referrals from our residents. So thank you for that, residents, associates as well. So remember, we have a referral program. You can have a little bit of savings and a little bit of a bonus if you do give some referrals to us and those people want to move in. This is a great time to talk to your family members, your loved ones, your friends, your neighbors about what you're experiencing here at John Knox Village during these difficult times. And you know what? It may be good for them as well. So
great. Well, thank you, Marybeth. And
thank you, Dan.
I think what we'll do now is take a little tour of this beautiful villa.
Okay.
So thanks for watching.
Thank you.